Watson today. So let's see. We have 2 participants waiting. Fabulous. Going to be Zooming with the fabulous Kate Watson today. Okay, so let's close this. Admit. And let's see what we have here. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Kate.
Hi there. Let's see if I can. What am I supposed to do here? Can you see me?
I just love this. No worries. There you are. Yay!
Okay. Hello. Hello. I don't use this very much. Let's see. Gallery view. That should work.
It does work.
Good. All right. We want to work. Well, nice to meet you virtually.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And you look fantastic. Kate, Michael Dvorzan contacted you, and
Yes.
Kate Watson agreed to be on my little channel, Dina 6 TV. So
yeah, thanks to him for connecting us.
Yeah. I got a chance to read. I look a little bit like the witness protection program because the sun is in the wrong way.
A little bit of that backlight. Yeah.
So yeah, I got to speak with Michael, and I actually got to see a little bit of her Deadly Groom, which I think is fabulous.
Good to hear. Wonderful.
Yeah, it'll be out the 26th. It's coming out.
Yes, this Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Lifetime Network.
On Lifetime Network. Super exciting. Yeah. And Michael told me the whole film was shot in like 2 weeks.
Less than that, actually.
Wow.
Believe it or not, I think we had, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but we had about 9 days on this shoot. So it was fast and furious to shoot, but I have to say we had as you could see, we had a really wonderful crew and a cast that just, effortlessly got through all of our scenes. And, I was lucky enough to see it prior to its premiere on Sunday. And, the film moves, and not a lot of thrillers or even Lifetime films tend to feel like they move pretty quickly at a good solid pace. And so, and with all the edits and all the cutouts, we still got quite a bit of coverage. So
it starts in the beginning, like intense, and goes all the way through with some amazing twists. And you and Michael you were fantastic. So authentic. What a wonderful actress. I mean,
thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I remember I actually had just gotten back into town when Jared Cohen, our director, reached out to me about this, which they were shooting in a few days, and sent me the script. And it's not often that you're lucky enough to connect with a story that you are going to be in, but this script, I mean, my goodness, it feels like everybody is in the world of dating online now, right? And so
exactly,
myself included, I think we've all dabbled in the world of online dating. And I think it's so common to be in a situation where we're not aware of the sincerity or the honesty of perhaps the person that we're talking to or meeting online.
Oh yeah, I've had a few. Yeah. I mean, you have to go through the not so much Vincent.
Maybe hopefully not as bad as our film turns out to be. It might not be that drastic, but I think that the online community, I think it can be wonderful in many aspects, but I think that there is definitely a falseness to this virtual world sometimes, and people present themselves to be something that they're not always honestly being. And so I think that the sticky thing is, how do you really genuinely get to know someone, in a real way based on this facade that they put forward.
Particularly with Michael, he's easy on the eyes. I mean, that could be, that's what I liked about it too.
Charming in the beginning, very charming. And my character, Allison, just to give a little synopsis, she's someone who is intimidated to get online. And I think that a lot of people are, men and women, are very intimidated to jump into the dating pool online, especially if you've never done it before, or you've come from maybe being married and now divorced and starting to date again, which is the case with Allison. She's divorced recently, about a year or so,
Yeah.
and now her best friend is saying to her, basically, this is the way of the future. You have to get online to meet someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And then, our character of Vincent, played by Michael, comes along, and he's handsome and charming and everything that you'd ever want.
Right.
Until you get to know him. Yeah.
As they say, it could be too good to be true, but we don't.
Indeed.
Yeah, we don't want
Yes.
to.
Right. Which is the case, unfortunately, with many people, unfortunately. So
Amen. It's nonfiction. No.
exactly.
No, but there's wonderful people out there too.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk. So you're born in Hawaii,
Yes.
and then I got a chance. Thank you for friending me on Facebook. I got a chance to, you were on QVC for many years before.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have to say, what's that?
It's an amazing transition. Your life, to being a young woman, to get to have so many transitions already.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent and a believer in the idea that you don't have to have one career in your life. I think that many people find certain things later on in life or earlier in life. I grew up as a dancer in Hawaii,
Yeah,
and
I saw. Yes.
yeah,
Wow.
and so that was
Ballet?
ballet. Yes, I went to Hawaii State Ballet for many years. If anyone else has ever gone to Hawaii State Ballet, it's a very serious classic ballet training school.
Wow.
And then I moved to Minnesota, of all places, from Hawaii when I was a teenager.
Oh my God, that actually was a place, huh? Wow. Let me
Very
ask you
different
something. Let me open this blind so
Okay.
I'm not like in the witness protection program. Hold on.
We can see your gorgeous face and
No,
your
and I'm
signature glasses.
outside, so
There you go.
let me ask you something. How do you wind up there after? Did your parents move out there? I mean, were you still super young?
Yeah, my mother
Yeah.
was actually a music teacher.
Right.
I was just coming into my teens, and
Right. Wow.
she got a job there, and
Wow.
we decided to move there. So
What a
my
difference in
teenagers,
Honolulu.
very different, very, very different. And this is prior to, internet and computers and all of that. And
Right.
so it was a very different experience, but very happy to have experienced that world as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And yeah, and so I kind of stepped away from the dancing, I think, because I had left my training school in Hawaii. And my mom, actually, before becoming a music teacher, was an opera singer.
Oh,
And
wow.
we started to do some community theater together when we moved to Minnesota, which
Love it.
opened me into the world of theater and falling in love with musical theater primarily, and studied theater in my teens, and then went to college for theater. And then I moved down to LA pretty quickly, when I was about 20 or 21. And it was a very different landscape in Los Angeles that short time ago than it is now. And it wasn't the right time for me. And I knew that I would be back to LA. I knew I'd be back to acting, theater and film, but I needed to find the right, segue into doing that, and get a little bit more business experience and find yourself, and
Sure.
have the toolkit that I
You can do
think
whatever you want to do.
a young person needs. Absolutely. Yeah. So I went off and had a career in cosmetics for about a decade. And I was a spokesperson for many, many years for different companies, understood sales, and went on TV, on live TV, which was great training for being an actor, because
you got the gun to sell as well. So you have to be the best of the best.
You do. You have to be quick on your feet, articulate, know how to connect with people through a live camera. There's no second takes. There's just
second takes.
It's all live, but it's wonderful. It's that's the reason why I also love theater, is that it's just in the moment. It's just present.
I agree.
Yeah, and so
but you're also stunning. So I mean, what the makeup, was just like.
Oh, well, and I think because I was an artist growing up, like I loved to paint, I was just always drawn to makeup for the reason of it being artistry.
Yes, many faces can be painted with.
I love your lip color on. It's
beautiful. I do the red.
It's beautiful.
I do the red. I can't help myself. I do the red. I'm outside in the yard, so excuse the lights and the dark and everything.
No, it's perfect. The signature glasses and the red lip. It's a look.
Look,
Yeah.
we do the best we can.
It's great.
Back to you, my dear. Back to you. I wanted to ask you, and I got a chance also. You're a writer as well, not only an actress.
Yeah.
And makeup, but you wrote the Oasis. You wrote Oasis. The
Yeah. So Oasis, it's funny. That was just a very smart, small short film that
yeah, but still,
a good friend of mine
yeah,
just called me. Oh goodness, a couple months ago, right before I think the quarantine happened,
yeah,
and said, "Hey, I'm going to go off to Hawaii, where I'm from, and I'm
yeah.
going to shoot a short film for this film festival that's
Right.
going to be at Cannes. Can you write something?" And I think I had like 20 minutes to think of an idea of something that he
Wow.
could shoot. So yeah, so he went and shot it. It's an 8mm film festival, so there's really no dialogue, but he just shot it with a friend there and submitted it, and lo and behold, we were one of the top 8 in the world that submitted. So we would have gone to Cannes to see it, but quarantine has been great because I actually have now stepped away from. I did a lot of acting work last year and actually forced myself to start writing some more. So I am working on the screenplay right now. It's exciting.
Yeah, because look
Yeah.
at here, you came up with this story. When he said, "Can you write something?" Did you even have a pinch of a story, or did you have to start from scratch, or was it from the living on the island prior?
I
Or?
think I think I just thought of so much of one thing that's really wonderful to any actor who's out there. I would suggest writing, because when you have
Yeah,
experience on set and you read so many scripts, you kind of understand how scripts can evolve and change while you're shooting. And I think when you have an understanding of how things are actually shot, then writing something just becomes something that you have an upper hand doing, because you know the technicality of how something can be shot. So for me, it was really, what's the allotted amount of time? We're working with 8mm. What would look
wow.
good? And how can you capture in about 3 minutes roughly some emotional arc, some emotional story that can connect with an audience on 8mm? So
Not easy.
that's
Three
how it
minutes
was.
arc, no dialogue. I mean, that's
No dialogue.
people don't
Yeah.
realize how the smaller the piece, the harder it is to even have an arc.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Wow.
And so I just think that something that you can connect to right away, which is, someone's emotional pain or someone's emotional joy.
Yeah.
The story is just simply about a young boy who's in the midst of living in a situation where his parents are arguing, and he
Oh.
takes one of those hula dancers that sways back and forth.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
grew up with them. Everyone grew up with them.
Wow.
And
Yeah, yeah.
there's a reverence for hula because my mom danced hula, I danced hula growing up. And it's a sacred art form, in Hawaii. And it's one
Beautiful.
that tells story, and
Yeah.
it conveys love and the aloha spirit. And so he takes this doll and he runs to the ocean and he throws it into the ocean, and he's kind of sitting in the sand, sad and not sure what to do. And then all of a sudden this doll comes to life out of the ocean and dances hula to
Oh,
give
wow.
him the aloha spirit and to ease his pain. And that's as simple as the story really is. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Kind
Oh,
of
that's
fable.
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I wonder
Thank
how
you.
come we're doing having an echo here. Okay, it's back. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love Hawaii.
Oh, good. You've been. Yeah.
I lived there a couple of times.
Did you really?
Oh
wow.
yeah. I mean, I'll go back. Let me tell you,
Oh.
I'll definitely go back. I like to do 6-month stints, but
Oh, that's wonderful. Which island do you go to?
I go to Oahu every time.
Okay.
It's the only
Do you
one I
go
know.
to Kailua side, or do you
I
stay?
last time I would stayed in Ocean View Drive, like right up a little higher up than Diamond Head.
Yep.
I stayed there, and last time we were in Hawaii Kai.
Okay.
So I lived there in the 1979 for a year, and that was like a wow.
It looks so different now, doesn't it?
It's a completely different party scene too.
Yeah.
The whole thing is different, and I wanted to go back, so I went back. And I'll go back again too.
Good.
But, yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's really heaven. And every time I go back, I still have family back there. Not only does it feel like home, but it's just the energy of the island, right? It's so
Oh,
beautiful.
it's so
Yeah.
spiritual.
It is.
It's just so you can't explain it,
Mhm.
express it. It's just such a spiritual place.
Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I experienced it. So you did the QVC, and then you're like, okay, enough at QVC. Now you went to LA, you
Yeah.
went back, did the QVC, and now you're ready
Yeah.
to start
So
acting.
I was living in San Francisco for many years, and
Yeah.
then locked into a company that moved me down to Newport Beach, and I was their global director of education and artistry, and I was kind of creating sales programs for them. And at the same time, I was, helping with videos, and social media was kind of taking off in the world of beauty, which is huge on YouTube and everywhere. And so I did a lot of traveling, and I think that you know how you kind of know in the back of your head there's a ticking clock that's just going, well, it might be this year, it might be next year. Although I loved that job, and I loved eventually consulting with companies and being their spokesperson and going to QVC or HSN. I loved it. I also knew that my heart was really in telling stories and moving people spiritually and connecting with them. So it was almost like a perfect storm where it's really hard as an artist now, when you have something that's so stable and you've known business for so long, to have the gumption and the bravery, the courage to walk away and to do something that's maybe not as stable, and it's scary. But I think in many ways I was prepared because I had felt stability for so long. I knew what that felt like.
Yeah.
I had success in that world,
Yeah.
and it wasn't necessarily what was going to make me happy. So it was almost the right time to part ways with that, after a company that I was working for was purchased and sold to a much bigger company, Estee Lauder. And so then we parted ways. Yeah. So I've really only come back into this. I mean, I feel like I've been acting my whole life, but come back into being a full-time actor only for 2 years.
Yeah,
So,
but your IMDb, you have like 12 things you've done in the past 2 years. I mean,
yeah, we have quite a bit coming up too that's not even listed on there.
but you're such a natural, and you don't overstate. Even though it was a horror film, you could tell you were scared to death, but you weren't like, overstated, and everything was really, I mean,
Oh, good.
my humble opinion, it's no wonder why you have like 12 things in the past 2 years. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, just honesty with the story. I think that, yeah, I mean, Lifetime and thrillers and horror films, they can get very unhonest very quickly, or too campy.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you really understand who your character is and you're just in that moment presently, and I like to say floating in that moment, really absorbing what you're feeling, then the camera doesn't lie, right? The camera, it sees
No.
truth.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Robert Duvall. People would work with Robert Duvall, and like he would never even move, and people were like, is this guy gonna move? You know what I mean? He barely even does anything, but his presence on screen is like, wow.
Yeah. And that's the great thing too, is that everyone has, I've met so many incredible actors, and we all truly have our own sense of style or taste, or our own way of kind of delving into how do we understand a script and break down a script and our character and get into the moment. Some people are methods, some people, I mean, it varies. And I think that also for me, what works is I like to understand what the story is I'm telling, who the character is. And I kind of approach every character differently.
Sure.
I did an action
research.
movie.
Do you do research? And
I do. Yeah, I do research. We did right before, in the beginning of the year, a very short shoot of a sci-fi film. And on top of learning my lines, I was an astrophysicist. I had to do research.
I can't even pronounce that. Forget it.
Right. So I had to, you have to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I had to do the research that was needed to seem credible and to at least understand what I was saying. But some roles, I think part of also being a dancer, I like the physicality of roles. I find a lot of my characters through their physicality. I think sometimes when you move into the physical world of that character, that will actually educate the internal world of the character. Wow. So a lot of people will think that, well, as an actor, you have to come from inside and emote. Well, for me, sometimes it's the outside in, that's informing how I'm feeling, especially with anything that has action or, stunt work. A lot of that comes from the external physical stuff I'm doing.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was taking this acting class, and we were, within a room, and then it went Zoom, and I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. I couldn't go back on because it was just like 7, 8 squares. It was the
Oh,
physicality of the whole thing, you know, the
yeah,
energy of the room.
yeah, absolutely. That would be tough.
Yeah. But I saw Eric Roberts. You got to work with Eric Roberts, and you know, what a
Yes.
great crew. I mean, even the younger two, and I'm sorry, I
They're
should have
great.
the name.
Yeah,
The
Elise
whole,
Cantor and Jacob Michael. So
yeah,
Elise Cantor plays my daughter,
yeah.
and Jacob Michael plays her boyfriend, and they're fantastic. They couldn't be nicer people in real life. They're just lovely, lovely people, but very talented. Yeah, everyone. It was a really well cast and a tight knit group. We worked really hard. So.
Fantastic. I'm so happy and inspired by people that are actually, you know, doing something, because it's a scary, weird time. I mean,
It is. It is.
I used to have 2 or 3 people a week that I would get on my show and sit and talk, and it's just like it just shut down. You know, people are not feeling well, they're not doing things, people are not feeling their best, and to see, you know, a spark of life, to see some things, you know, coming out. It's
Yeah. Well, like you and I were saying before, you know, content right now is kind of the saving grace for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, yeah, it's a very scary time. It's a scary time for a lot of people. And I have so much empathy for people who've lost someone or are going through something, and we need to be diligent about everything. But at the same time, too, I think it's an opportunity, right, where we can
Of course.
explore other avenues of ourselves and our, you know, our community or our relationships. And so that's the silver lining in this. But
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, just to kind of stay strong in the sense of that, you know, there's an end is coming, and that we just need to continue to support one another and be kind. That's all.
Yeah, we have to have the faith that, you know, this is like not the end game. And, you know,
No.
sometimes you say, do people really want to hear this? But people really do,
Yeah.
you know, need, you know, entertainment and to other things other than to, you know, oh, I think we have somebody that wants to come on. Let's see who it is. You want to see it is? Oh,
let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Hold on 1 second. Hello? Oh,
It's Michael.
holy moly's.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. It's your birthday too. We're both Cancers, which I love.
Best
Yes,
sign
I
in the
know.
world.
Remind me when your day is, Kate. You never answered that question.
It was last Friday. So yeah.
Last Friday would have been
the 17th.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And mine's July 6th. So,
Indeed.
Dina, if you didn't know, we are both Cancerians.
Oh, Cancer, honey, what's with the glasses? What are you doing? What's
Well, I had an idea to surprise her, but you know, I was going to.
He's being Vincent Black, is what he's being right now.
Vincent Black. Oh no.
Listen, I was going to wear a handkerchief, and then I thought, you know, but it says my name. Maybe my name should be Vincent Black. I mean, I was trying to, you know, think of something.
Never know who you were.
We would have never known without the shades, though. I mean, I was like, who's this sinister guy over here? Too funny.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Thanks for coming on. I said, come on in the last couple of minutes and give her a surprise. So, guys.
Well, that's what an official surprise looks like.
Yeah, that was an official surprise.
That was an official surprise, and I figured since I didn't get a chance to sing her happy birthday, I would.
Thank you. I think that you might be my only singing happy birthday.
Well, after all, I am.
It was a good one.
Don't forget, Kate.
I shall not forget.
I am also known as Vincent Black, so.
Indeed, you are.
He has to make up for his bad deeds by, you know, singing you happy birthday and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yikes. I mean, I loved it. I loved the film only because it starts in the beginning like the cliff scene and just goes on forever. And then there he is. He's out of jail. I can't believe he got out of jail.
Dun,
yeah,
dun, dun.
I mean, actually, ironically enough, Kate bailed me out of jail.
I just I can't let him go.
Oh, I know. Can you imagine? I mean, there's worse, right? She could have been an ugly, like.
Oh man.
I mean,
yeah.
bad pictures out there.
Yeah, we won't give any spoilers away.
No,
other
no
than
spoilers.
that,
No
yeah.
spoilers. I could,
Yeah.
I could do that real fast. Thank you so much for surprising her and coming on and singing happy birthday. I love it.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So, hey,
All right,
Hey.
so
All right. This was fun.
I
So,
absolutely
yeah.
loved it. Absolutely loved it. And it's live on YouTube, and I'll change it up a little bit, and I'll send you the clip. And thank you for taking the time to come on and meeting me, and thank you, Michael, for hooking us both up. She's such a wonderful person, and so so talented. We talked about Oasis, the film that she wrote in like 20 minutes. That's on.
Yes, but I
Shazam.
have a Southern Gothic thriller that I'm writing right now, Michael. It's
Ooh.
much darker than our movie.
A Southern, meaning it takes place in the South?
Nice.
Half
Mhm.
my family's from Mississippi. I love it.
It might be in
Southern
Mississippi.
blood.
Mhm.
Southern blood.
Indeed.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Yeah.
the idea of that.
So
Some
there's
fun
no
things.
room for a New Jersey accent in it, huh?
We'll find some. We'll find a Jersey somewhere. Yeah. We'll add it.
Just kidding.
Yeah, you gotta have, Dina run out of the shadows with an axe with a New Jersey accent or something.
I
don't
can
know.
see it with the red lip and the glasses. It's gonna
Yeah,
work.
I could
Yeah.
see it too. It wouldn't be the first role I had like that. I'm easily cast in in
Watch
the
out.
Jersey accents. Yeah. Give me Annie. Miss Hannigan. I'm fine. No,
Oh no.
I'm
Oh,
teasing.
my
Teasing. Thank you so much, Kate. Thank
Of
you,
course.
Michael.
Thank you.
And, I'm just gonna put it out, and good luck on your premiere, and good luck in the future for everything is going. And check in if you have any other new projects you'd like to come on again. I would love to have you.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Dina. Yes. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, Michael.
Bye.
Bye, Kate.
Bye.